Okay. So, control. Let's get back into it, shall we? Things have changed a little bit since last week. I was fiddling around with the game and looking into it on the internet, and I wanted to have some decent mods to have a shot at defeating what's his face. The oh, I probably wrote that. Sorry, didn't mean to give you all the. Nope. What's his name? The darkness generator, the board, the hiss, the hedron. Damn it, I didn't write it. What was his name? The big worm thing. Damn it. I'm sure Tara's gonna tell me the name in a second, but anyway, there was a boss fight last week that I just couldn't get through for some reason. Like, I remember the first time I played, it was difficult, but after, 2 or 3 attempts, I did it and it was fine. But last week, I just couldn't defeat it, so I was trying to figure out ways of giving us an edge. And boy, did the internet deliver. I found a mod that is ridiculously overpowered. And I went to get it. And I'm going to tell you about it a little bit. Like, I already have it, obviously, so I can't redo it. But I'm going to show you roughly how I got it and what it does. But I'll keep the suspense. So for now, I'm just going to show you how to get it, and then I'm going to tell you what it does. You have to go back here to the furnace. And this is actually one of the coolest thing ever. Because we could have done that at any time before. And, well, not any time. We have to have enough of the building open to us. And we need to be able to have this. So we actually, no, we couldn't do it before, but it's been right there and we didn't see it. The first thing you got to do is listen to this tape there. And this tape refers to the fact that the furnace has communicated with someone and wants to be fed. So if you take that hint and figure out what it might want to be fed, you actually can feed it. There are 6 television sets. The first one was right here. We could have seen it like when we came in the first time. There are 6 television sets hidden throughout the building that you can grab and bring back here and feed into the furnace. When you do, you gain this ridiculously powerful mod for the revolver. And what it does is, and I will show you, power plant. I think up there would be better. It's just, we're probably going to change how we fight the creature entirely. So let's say we come here. And of course nothing happens just because I wanted enemies. Yay. Are we gonna have enemies now? Just a few? Probably not because we've got NPCs.
My eyes open. He ain't out of the woods yet.
Alright then. Okay, so bummer. Real bummer. Okay. Oh, maybe here. Maybe here. Come on, just a little fight. Nope. Okay then. I'm gonna have to tell you what it does. There is a 100% chance of refunding our bullets with this gun as long as we hit, which is ridiculous. It's broken. Like, I went through a fight in this area, so that's why I'm surprised no one wasn't here now. But I went into a fight just to test it, and I didn't need to reload a single time. Like, you just walk up to shit, you unload your gun into them, and as long as the bullet hits, you don't waste it. It's still there. It's really, really strong. And since the thing has a huge eye looking at us, that's super hard to miss, and we also have to hit the little balls coming towards us. We're probably never going to waste a single bullet, and we're just going to be able to keep pelting it. Let me catch up to chat quickly, and then we're going to try to beat his ass one more time. Okay, Rose has gone to walk her cat. That's perfectly fine. Talk to you soon when you come back. Orcs and their relationship with Hunter is probably the most interesting part of the setting for me. The idea of people who literally cannot see fighting being told there are certain ways they should be going about this, and being told, let the big guys handle it. Yeah, that is a pretty cool angle, I agree. So is everything with the in front of it and an T. Right, yeah, just like the janitor, potentially, yeah. I also like it's the discarded or something. Okay, so you don't remember either. We'll know for sure, because anyway, I'm gonna go and try to beat his ass right now, so we'll know what his name is. It's fine. I think it starts with an F, but it just the former, is it that? I think it might be the former. We'll see. We'll see him soon. But yeah. Back to Hunter, I agree. It's really interesting, and it reminds me a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the not so great storyline in season 4. Like, there are elements to it that I really didn't like, but early on in the season, it was actually interesting to see her, like, having literally the military come into town to try and take control of things, and they were blundering through with good intentions. But Buffy was like, y'all don't know what you're doing. Like, thanks for the help, but, like, I'm the Slayer. Like, literally one of her quotes is Slayer look it up, your occult library. So they were in over their heads, and they did not understand the supernatural world. They were trying to, but they didn't yet. It was an interesting way of creating some kind of tension between various groups that weren't necessarily enemies. They just didn't see things the same way. And that's compelling to me.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here for you, Philip. We're gonna... oh, right. This is... Former, discarded, same difference. Kinda, yeah. That's right. I can't not look at it or it's gonna kill me.
If I look away, it hurts me.
I'm not gonna look away. I tried to get a mod
Sounds like
for our other gun too.
Understand it.
Sound, everyone, that's probably very unpleasant, but it is working.
There's no Black Pyramid here.
Okay. Yeah.
The fridge seems fixed. Did fighting that thing off change something?
So many implications there. Like, is the former the reason any of these objects of power turn evil? Who knows? Was it the former? I didn't actually look. I should have, but I was busy fighting, being like terrified of falling in a hole again. Like, I was barely looking at the thing. I was just concerned with not falling in the dang hole. That should be the one. It was the former. Perfect. Thanks. Okay.
Hey, listen to this. Containment failure in Panopticon cell 69.
Nice.
Get it?
I have to. It's
69.
I'm not gonna repeat.
Humorous about an escaped paranatural entity originating from cell 69, sir.
But you just said it. Come on, you guys. It's funny.
Avoid, welcome aboard.
How'd it go? Where's Philip?
Philip's gone.
Yeah.
Something happened before I could get him out.
Poor Philip. He never did like fridge duty.
Well, no shit.
But if you're here, then who's watching the fridge?
The fridge is fine now. I took care of it.
You don't just take care of altered items.
Yes,
what
we
did you
do, buddy. We kick
I
their
touched it.
asses.
And wound up in the astral plane. This thing was in there. It was huge, had one big eye. Wasn't friendly.
We've been getting reports from the astronauts lately about something fitting that description. The astral plane is usually connected to our world through objects of power, not altered items. If this thing is linking itself to altered items, then it's clearly powerful. This may happen again.
Do you think that thing is what got Philip?
Must have been. The Panopticon is a dangerous place. The agents all know the risks. But, since you're some sort of altered item whisperer, I've got a list of others for you to corral. The Hiss are causing containment breaches left, right, and center. Here, start with these. I'll see if there are any others missing while you're gone. My life just got a whole lot easier.
Yeah. Wouldn't be here if you were doing your goddamn job, buddy, but fine.
I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
Okay, so we got a fracton of... What was the button again? Here we go. Oh, we have collectibles to read. But we got a fracton of new missions. Like finding the Japanese paper lantern, the traffic light, the hand chair, moving letters, and even more besides. Like the rubber duck that we couldn't get because we couldn't fly before. There's really a bunch of new things that we can now do, and there's going to be another set of that. So there's really a lot. It's super cool though, so we're going to do them. They're really interesting, but it's a lot. It's the one thing I found while playing the game that outstayed its welcome just a little bit. Altered behavior item changes. We're going to read through all of this because I just saw that we had a bunch of them on this side, so might as well get through that. So, recently there have been some alarming changes in behavior and altered effect in two altered items in the Panopticon. The Redacted and the Redacted have become much more aggressive, with entirely new effects manufactured for no discernible reason. The items have been investigated for updated containment procedures to counter these new effects, with one successfully discovered to be contained by constant visual contact. But this development is worrying. What if all the altered items undergo this behavioral change? We need to find out why this is happening. What is changing? Handling these altered items has also resulted in numerous Panopticon staff being redacted. Like Philip. Philip got redacted. I would say they've gone to the astral plane, but these aren't objects of power. Not one of them has come back. This, plus the uptick in astronauts not returning from their dives, has me wondering what the hell is going on. Is anyone looking into this? Is there any plan? Refer to file redacted for full report. Panopticon Methods Proposal. Process and Best Practices Panopticon Containment Procedures Proposal. Summary. In this proposal, I'd like to explore the matter of containment policy. When an altered item enters the oldest house, we thoroughly investigate any possible combination of actions or words or material that will prevent the item from applying its altered effect. However, I work with these entities every day, and I have a good reason to believe that a less convoluted form of containment is possible. The items crave redacted. If we initiated a series of redacted, praising the items, or perhaps incorporating their images into pieces of redacted, that could be visited throughout the Bureau, I believe the altered items would behave without needing to resort to redacted or redacted, which only lead to the items feeling mistreated. If we treat them like criminals, we can't be surprised when they try to escape. Interesting point, actually. I don't know if it would actually work or do anything, but it's interesting. Containment procedure. No unique procedure is required. Description / altered effect. An Arctic Queen brand electric refrigerator model from the 1960s. No cooling functionality. The door is decorated with crayon illustrations by redacted. The illustrations cannot be removed from the item. All attempts have failed. The paper cannot be burned or torn. Background. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after it survived the collapse of New York City's Grand Central Hotel, where it served as an appliance in apartment redacted. Rented by a man named Redacted. It became the subject of local infamy after surviving the building's collapse undamaged. Mr. Redacted, who was out of the building at the time of collapse, Redacted PM, retained ownership of the item until 1974, when the Bureau purchased the item through a false identity. Appendix. New altered effect has been observed. See file, whatever, for details. Surfboard procedures. No unique procedures required. Any attempts to abuse the object's effect for personal gain will result in termination. Description, altered effect. An antique surfboard, believed to originate from the 1960s due to its design. The item enhances self-confidence when touched. The duration of the effect is redacted. Background. The item came to the Bureau's attention through a popular nationwide tour of speaking engagements advertising the item as a proven miracle worker, especially for those afflicted by personal shortcomings. This self-help course was called The Power of the Board, created and operated by a man named Chester Bless. Numerous attendees experienced an immediate surge in optimism and daring after touching the item. Once the craze reached a fever pitch, with events attracting thousands of people, the Bureau took actions. Agents raided Mr. Bless's Los Angeles home only to find his house empty and the man gone. Only the item remained in the house, in plain sight. Book club. I don't think we need to read the book club. Do we? They named the fix, the Navigator fan of the story. Nah. Altered items. Did we watch that? Oh, yes, we did. Okay, and hotline. Deformer. Oh, yeah. Deformer / Descent is back / not gone. It is previous / disappointment and is not part of the board / us. We apologize / deny all knowledge for the convenience. You will see / phase the former. It is stealing / linking altered items. It builds competition / not us. You must espionage / destroy. When possible / inevitable. Do not believe yet get hyped / get hyped about the former's lies / ads. We provide / offer bonus packages / elf plan. If you leave, you will be sorry / dead. And you will never work / exist in this torn / cosmic reality again. Yes. Wow. Wow. Bored. Okay. Did we go I don't think we did go everywhere. I think we did the archives last week. So let's make sure we went through the archives properly. And after that, we can continue. Go back to see our brother. Just pursue the story, and we'll do... Now and again, we'll take a little break and take a look at trying to find these altered items. Have we gone here? Okay, it doesn't open, so it doesn't matter. Let's not go too nuts with this, though. Let's just go to the obvious places. Because we can spend a lot of time walking around aimlessly if we try to find every secrets in the game. We're not going to do that. I think we did the archives. Yep, the board is straight up just threatening us. Oh yeah, we've been there. There's an astral spike in the back. We don't need to go back in there. That's the thing. We already know what they're talking about. When you stop, being the director, you get shot and someone else takes over. So yeah, they know it's a thing, and they know we know. So like, yeah, it's a threat, but at the same time, it's not new information. And yet it's definitely a threat. I feel like there's a statement there. Anti-corporate statement kind of thing. But have you been watching Moon Knight or looking forward to Doctor Strange? I have been watching Moon Knight. I absolutely loved it in the beginning, but I don't know. Like, I think I'm slowly falling out of love with shows that release every week instead of letting me freaking binge it. Some shows, I think, take advantage in a meaningful and interesting way of the weekly release. For example, if there's an ongoing mystery to keep me invested, like that makes sense. I didn't feel like Moon Knight, after maybe the second episode, was still enough of a mystery kind of deal for the... Oh, that's the board. For this kind of release to really be a plus for it. I think Moon Knight would have been more interesting to me if I could have just binge watched it. It's like Picard, right? I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and Picard is my captain. Yet, despite the fact that I really like the season 2 so far, like in the beginning, I mean, sorry, I misspeaking. I like the beginning of season 2. Now I'm just semi-annoyed with it, because I really just wish they got to the point already. Huh, I managed to somehow run out of bullets. This mod is broken, y'all. And like, I can't really fault the show even, because every episode just change everything entirely. Like, it's like they can't figure out what kind of show they want to be, so it's not really that it's a snail's pace. It's hard to explain what the problem with it is, but I just can't help but feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I didn't have to wait a week for it to move on. And yet, I had the exact whoa, hello. Right. Okay, what's happening here. The exact opposite opinion about Discovery. Okay, yeah. Discovery's latest season is a bit of a slow boil story. That's right, I can do that. Oh, they left. Okay. Bit of a slow boil story about... We've been here. Okay, we've definitely been here. Okay, if we need to go somewhere, it's higher up. It's a bit of a slow boiled story about this race who are accidentally destroying planets. And the format worked. I enjoyed learning more about this species and how Starfleet was dealing with the situation every week. That was fun. Like I enjoyed the deepening of the mystery every week. That worked. We've been up there too. P6 is where we went for Dylan. Okay, so we have to go up another floor. Can we go up another floor? Doesn't look like it. Maybe if I jump from an object. Alright, guess not. Okay, so we're done with the Panopticon. Good. So yeah, that's my issue with Moon Knight. I think I would have loved it if I could have just binged it. It's not a bad show. I feel like I need to get back into the mood, back into it every week for some weird reason. What if the... Okay, let me just catch up with chat. What if the farmer pays better and provides better for 401k plan? Could be. Absolutely could be. Yeah, of all the Disney Plus shows, Moon Knight is the most of a long movie. Yeah, correct. It feels like it's a one movie that doesn't end, and yet you've got these ads after an hour that last a whole week, and when the ads are gone, you get to continue watching your show. That's a problem for sure. Yes, it's also ending this week, but I've watched every other episode, so kind of a moot point, I guess. Yes, that's another issue. Absolutely. If anyone doesn't want to immediately watch it and binge it instead, well, they're gonna get spoiled big time. That's a huge issue for sure. I don't think we've been there. That's on the first floor. We've been there. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've been there. That works. Teleport back towards the story. Oh, hello. Thank you, loot. Fast travel, thank you. And story should be an executive suit. There we go. Let's do that. Nomad says, I tend to boycott weekly series until I can binge them. Right, okay. I was reading Tara about the Easter egg. Yeah, exactly. We're moving on for sure. I agreed. Yeah, Nomad, it's a good plan. It's just that when you're in so many, you know, communities, catching up on Discord and all of that, you just get spoiled.
Brother. And she brought him here? She's gonna get us all killed.
What if she's working with the Hiss?
Right
Isn't
here.
it strange she showed up just when they did?
Yes. Doesn't mean I'm working with the Hiss, but yes, you're right. Good point. Oh, the jukebox. Yeah. We're not gonna do that.
I found this token. Any idea what it does?
Ah, that is a jukebox token. Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies. The Rangers use them to activate an old object of power.
A jukebox, I assume. Does it have any good songs?
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful turning it on, though. When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation. That sounds ominous. Why does it send you there?
The Bureau has been wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. And no one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation from maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation now. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the Hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought them back hours ago.
I can go in and take a look.
I'd appreciate that. The jukebox is kept just past the security booth over there. Just put in the token and enjoy the ride.
So they wrap it around a veneer of a storyline, but it's really just a set of really difficult challenges. So that's why we're not going to do them.
What's the deal with BlackRock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock.
Okay.
You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Love making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between departments.
Yep.
Still, at least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
Right. As for Doctor Strange, we have our tickets. I haven't checked any of the trailers. That's on purpose. I mean, I already know I'm going to watch the movie, so there's no reason for me to watch a trailer. Because historically, I found that trailers just show too much of the movie. Because I remember the scenes, I remember the thing, and I want to watch a movie fresh, like with as little spoilers as possible. And I've even seen spoilers, literally, in trailers in the past. I think the movie was called What Lies Beneath or something like that. There was this ghost story situation. I don't remember the details of it, but literally the punchline, the twist of the movie is in the trailer. I'm not even freaking kidding. So I don't really watch trailers unless I can't afford not to. Like, for example, I watched the trailers of Jurassic Park Dominion because I couldn't not do it. I just love Jurassic Park. I mean, I freaking love Jurassic Park. So, and I've been waiting for a decent one since the original. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I watched the latest trailer and it was like, it's hard not to be hyped. Seriously, Dominion has some serious potential to be maybe the best one. Like, I'm not sure. I'll wait and see. But it's got so much potential in there. Gosh, I hope it rocks. I really hope it does. Werewolf by Night. Werewolf. Right. Werewolf by Night. Where did I see? I heard about that, but I'm not sure what that is. Feel free to elaborate. Actually, I have not a lot of info, as in barely any. I know I've heard the name mentioned, but that's all I got on Werewolf by Night. Feel free to mention more. But yeah, Doctor Strange, I'm definitely going to be watching. We already have our tickets. I think isn't it this weekend? Like 2 or 3 days after release. My girlfriend bought the tickets and invited a bunch of people to watch it. To join us at the same representation. Essentially, we're still going to be careful with distances and stuff, but we'll be in the same room as we're watching the movie. But yeah, I don't have an opinion yet. Waiting to see it.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. He's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be?
That's a good point. There is no rule preventing beers on the premises, but technically the quarry's in the building, so no cigarettes there. That's funny.
You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response. Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
Let me write that down. Rangers are the ones who respond to AWEs. Most retire due to cognitive collapse. I'm taking notes because I'm still interested in the concept of a tabletop RPG from this game. And that's important. Just give me a quick second. It's getting real hot in the office, as usual. I'm going to fix that quickly. Which gives me an opportunity to once again show my anima t-shirt. Because those are a thing. Next biggest Disney Plus Marvel show. Really? Werewolf by Night is a Marvel show. Okay. Except for M.A. Marvel. But they're... What's M.A. Marvel? I'm reading that for a younger audience, so I'm not thinking you're putting out all the stops for it. Okay, well, you never know. Sometimes even if something is for kids, it can still be good. Like Camp Cretaceous for Jurassic Park is probably the best Jurassic Park content we got since the original movie, so, you know. Right, okay, Miss Marvel. Right.
How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her Rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. Lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it? Do I even want to know?
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know. What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing, though.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry.
Good question. I forgot to write down that Marshall's also let's say explore and catalog thresholds. So in other words, those would be the player characters, if I ever was to make a game based on that.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Okay, let's go talk
The
to
resonance
Jesse.
emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal it can arrange. But how did Darling create it?
Like, no one's gonna make a big deal, or like, besides those two in the entrance, about the fact that Dylan showed up. Really? I was expecting Pope to just go like, "Oh crap, your brother," you know, but no, they're just like, "Huh, these weird variations." Let's read the two new things we got before we get into Pope, the dialogue with Pope. Analysis of Hiss Threat Part 3, Confidential. Summary. If we understand the Hiss to be a force based on vibration and resonance, then perhaps their incantation, which is now the agreed upon term for their vocalizations, is an effort to express that resonance within human vocal cords and speech. Would there be differences if the incantation were recited in a different language? The most common word used is want. Interestingly, every usage of the word is attributed to a you. You want to listen. You want this to be true. You want these waves to drag you away. Are we the you this hiss is referring to? Does the hiss believe humanity, possibly all non-hiss life, wants to join it, to be consumed by it? Is that its goal? The second most used word are through and time. Is this possibly the hiss stating how they arrived here, or an indication of its age? There is clear intention in the words. Dismissing the incantation as nonsense, as some of my colleagues recommend, is beyond idiotic. Refer to redacted for full report. Timeline of events. Analysis of Hiss, Part 4, Confidential. To examine the invasion's timeline of events for possible patterns is in Hiss behavior. Establishing a timeline is difficult at present because of the lack of reliable communications between bureau sectors and staff. Preliminary models indicate ground zero of the invasion is located within the executive sector. Once it becomes possible to interview surviving personnel, pinpointing the exact location should be feasible. Other outstanding questions that a timeline may help answer. How did the Hiss get past the internal lockdown? How does Hiss resonance advance through space? Deliberately or uniformly? What is their ultimate goal? The outside world? A cross-dimensional destination? Refer to redacted for full report. Okay, more missions? Oh, the record, of course. And assets, we got a bunch of new stuff here. We might want to, well, one big one. We might want to see if we can level up a couple of things. Let me just bring chat back. I didn't realize it was gone. Welcome again. Okay. I've watched the trailer, I just don't know if it will be the same production value or tone as the other Marvel stuff. Right. I feel like Disney Channel show more than a Marvel show, in my opinion. Okay. Kind of sad based on the title, but I guess we'll see.
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here.
Dylan.
But am I too late? How is
We'll
he?
find out soon.
I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the Hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother. Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
But there's more.
Jesse, when you were down in research, did you run into a Dr. Rhea Underhill?
Did we?
I didn't.
We did. Huh?
Who is she?
She is a colleague of mine. A researcher studying a kind of extra-dimensional mold growing
the
below
mold.
research.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
No one does. Look, I haven't heard from Rhea since the Hiss arrived. Would you mind having a look around for her next time you're in research?
Of course.
Thanks, Jesse. Now, what's on your mind?
How do I survive the mold?
I visited the quarry. What's the plan for all that black rock?
The Bureau has used Blackrock almost exclusively for containment purposes. See, I say, branch out. Instead of boxes, helmets. Instead of blast shields, knives.
Knives?
Yes, knives! So many combat applications. Slicing, stabbing, gouging, or... Sorry. I've been trying to get Darling to explore combat applications for years. I got a little excited.
Wow. I did not expect that from her.
Agreed. Did not expect that from her either. Yeah, and as Tara says, talking about Dylan like he's an experiment.
This place is looking good. Arisha's making real progress around here.
Right? This place is a fortress. With him taking care of operations here, I can spend more time analyzing the Hiss. I've been attempting to isolate and neutralize the Hiss resonance in blood samples, but no luck so far.
So you can't reverse it?
Not yet, but perhaps reversing it is too simple. See, if Hiss resonance can rewrite human genetics, then perhaps it's a question of rewriting the Hiss resonance. In theory, that could pave the way for custom human genetic alteration.
I wonder how often the phrase mad scientist is used around here.
Valid question, Jesse.
How is HRA production coming along?
Better than expected. We've already made enough to get people out of a couple safe rooms. They're here, alive, thanks to you. And we never would have lasted this long if you hadn't walked in those doors.
You deserve thanks too, of course. We got
You're
this
welcome.
place up and running together, Emily. I should be going. Enjoy your data.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Data will interpret itself.
So no, that's not what we're gonna do. For now, we're gonna stick to the main story, I think. But we could do that. Or we could do that. Few interesting things we can do there. Okay, first let's see if we have enough, yes, to level up something. So no. Sad, sad, sad. The grip. The grip would have been cool to level up since it's going to be our main weapon for a bit. Oh, we can buy a jukebox token. We're definitely never going to do that, but it's cool to see that we can. Oh, okay. Okay, I was on the wrong. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Abilities. Now that we have everything, is there anything we'd like to do? That's something we could do. can't do launch. We're definitely not going to be interested in melee. We could do this. Could do those two. Go talk to Dylan somewhere. Upper level, they said.
Oh my god, did she have to write everything in her made-up gibberish code? Fucking Marshall, CIA spy shit, god.
Still yellow, whoops, yellow thingy here, so maybe there's
I don't think I ever
stuff.
told you this, but I was actually on the path to being a ranger once. Did the whole boot camp thing, even got rookie status. Anyway, not the point. My own ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stoll, and Thompson. They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from
Well,
this.
that boy.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want Days to get them. Could you find them for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish. And I won't let them stay his.
Okay.
I have to go.
We go around. Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
We're starting to have a whole bunch of quests. I suppose we could start on those. We'll talk to Dylan first. And then I think
Apparently the director
starting
restored
to
HRA
get...
production. They're already getting other survivors out of safe rooms.
Great. Maybe I can get back to my office soon. I miss having a door to close on people.
I think you're gonna have to endure the inconvenience a little longer.
I think maybe we could start eliminating some of those quests. It's gonna give us a bunch of points to spend, so it'll be good for us, our survivability.
Just when I thought things were stabilizing, Marshall abandons us. I'm sick of no one telling us what's going on.
Information's always been on a need-to-know basis.
Well, I need to fucking know. I'm an upper-level executive, damn it.
I do not like that person.
Marshall orders us to just sit on our asses and then leaves? What's the deal?
She must have her reasons. She's probably out doing some recon.
Then she should have taken us with her. I need some action, goddammit.
Gonna get plenty of it. Well, damn. That's a perfectly normal thing to find in a room. Welcome to the Holdest House. Sticky note complaint. Yeah, it's gonna be a funny one to read. Let's actually read it while we're in here in case there's something we want to do with it. Sticky note complaint. To whom it may concern, in case you are not aware, something caused the sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is unusable now. I will be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell or my phone. Sincerely, J. Bozer, Vice Chief of Staff. Wow. Well, it continued duplicating, my friend. Employee report. Review. Dr. Darling has personally recommended Miss Pope for a promotion based on her work ethic and assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. See research reports redacted for breakthroughs resulting from her work. Recommendation. According to her colleagues, Pope has displayed a keen eye for detail and a quick grasp of paranatural concepts. She is professional and diligent, though some of her co-workers complain of social disinterest. The review committee approves this recommendation and promotes Miss Pope to the position of research specialist. New entity, the sticky note. All right, let's add it to the list. Why not? Wow. It's just a joke, of course. I don't think it's actually an entity, but you know what? At this point, who knows? And collective unconscious. Collective unconscious is defined as a form of the unconscious that is shared in all human minds. From this arises unconscious knowledge linking us through our ancestral heritage. See Young Report, page 12 to 34. Through this collective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes to all elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. This internal belief in the power of images, shared by a massive population, is redacted in the creation of altered item and objects of power. The sheer amount of redacted exuded is attracted to the best representation of that image, imbuing a single object with massive amounts of redacted. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by the simple power of sustained collective belief. That does seem to be semi-consistent. Why do I still have...
Did you see that hiss they marched through here? Why the fuck didn't we put a bullet in that thing's head?
I heard it's the director's brother. Would you shoot your brother?
That's no one's brother anymore. He's the enemy, plain and simple.
Yo. Lucky I can't take out my gun. Probably just an awakened item. Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely. I put it as a joke on the list, but yeah.
I heard some rangers saying you saved them in maintenance.
Really? Everything I'm
They were
gonna pass
attacked
by?
a new kind of hiss, and Arish got them out.
Alright, but still. A security guard leading rangers? I don't know if I like taking orders from a mall cop.
Lady, he's in charge of security in the building. That's how it works. Nope. Yeah, we're gonna continue to make our way around first because there's a bunch of new stuff that weren't there last time we were around. Oh, we're done. Okay then. Let's go see Dylan. Here we go.
Happiness comes, white pearls, you are a worm through time. The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been a near you. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time.
Bomb instead of sticky note. God. We'll revisit that. We'll do the clock thing next. There might be a link between the two things.
You are a worm through time. Shit. The thunder's home distorts you.
That's Dylan. Can you hear me? Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here. I found you.
You've always been a near you. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am? Oh, you know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person.
Always a good thing.
Always a good sign.
Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please?
Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
No shit.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No.
Nope. Hell no.
Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You! You came in through the hole in you! We let you in! You've always been here! The only truth! A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy!
Stop it!
Orange peel!
Shit! Shit! He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small, in Ordinary, in the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you.
Let me catch up to the chat. But wow, what a conversation. I just find it funny they're still renting like proper employee in the red type bureaucratic company, even in life and death situation. Yeah, that is pretty funny. You see the thing I quoted on the first episode? Gosh, no, man, that's. You mean the diatribe they're going on about? That's what he says. I thought it was what the other people says, but I'm not sure. That is his name. Yes. Or P6. Yeah. Yeah. For Prime, I think Prime 6, something like that. Yeah. I don't know about fired, but he's brilliant, and like he should be definitely a scientist in the sense that he come up with a lot of good stuff that are keeping people alive, but maybe he shouldn't be in charge. Yeah. Polaris is the entity in her head. The gun's name is the service weapon. It probably used to be Excalibur at some point in time. There was a file on that we read in the first couple of episodes. Literally, I think you're saying torched a person? Darling didn't do that. Dylan did.
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here.
Dylan, can we
Torture.
talk?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start.
Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary, before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me. I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure.
What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
Possibly. No, you're right. For sure, for sure. The way they treated Dylan, for sure wasn't great. I mean, and we're gonna dive into that a lot more, I think, when we do get into the Prime Candidate program. They could have done better, but I don't remember the details enough to really get into the nitty-gritty of it. I do, to a certain degree, understand that they needed to be careful because they're very powerful people. Like Dylan, when he was in the app, he just killed someone with the power of his mind. I don't think we've covered that just yet, but it's something that's going to be mentioned at some point. He got angry and someone just died. So there's something to be said about being afraid of Dylan and from that making the wrong decisions. As in, it's not the right decision, but I guess I can understand how it played out the way that it did. Still a problem with the person in charge, and with someone else in charge, maybe that death could have been avoided and Dylan could have been a functional member of society, like Jesse was, right? So, like, I understand the fear, but yeah, he done fucked up. Definitely Darling done fucked up. And Trench allowed it, so I guess he did too, for sure. That's a possibility. We don't know the extent of the powers of Polaris or the slide projector. There's this whole other object as well, the mirror, that we haven't actually tackled much with, but there's a possibility that a bunch of these options somehow took a person and divided it into two. That's entirely possible. After all, they're both of the same level of para-utility. Like, why would that be? And I understand that they're siblings, but as siblings, possibly that one of them could be a super strong para-utilitarian and the other might not have to be. The fact that they're exactly equal, Jesse and Dylan, I feel really lends credence to that theory that maybe what he just said wasn't bullshit at all. Maybe they literally used to be the same person. And quite possibly Polaris's influence or the slide projector's influence split them. Yeah, absolutely. Sadly, they just want a new director. I guess that one is on the board to a certain degree. I'm sure the board pushed in that direction. I feel like that is something the board would really want to have backup candidates. And I mean, we don't know how it played out in the sense that we weren't there. I don't know exactly what the board might have forced Trench to do. Like, you're gonna do it like this, and that's what it's gonna be. And Trench is like, okay, well, if they fire me, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head with the service weapon. So I gotta, who knows? We don't know how it played out. However, fact is, they done fucked up. They done fucked up real good.
How do you say insane hurts to be happy, and your one was a dream you just can't?
Maybe Dylan's still in there. Maybe there's a way to reach him.
I'd like to talk to my brother, please. Dylan?
Dylan would like to tell you about a dream he had just now.
This again?
I was going to be the new director of this place. I helped you get a job here so that we could be together. You were an office assistant. You'd make coffee and deliver the mail, and there was always plenty of work to do. And it stayed that way, forever and ever. It was nice. Really nice.
That's debatable.
Indeed.
But here's the strange thing. The dream shifted, and none of it was real anymore. It was a game. We were in a game, and it was a fucking boring game. But you couldn't stop playing. And then it shifted again. Or maybe it was another dream already. Or maybe I'm just confusing them. But in this other dream, it was more like a musical. This is an ordinary song about an ordinary girl from an ordinary town. It's the ordinary story. She worked an ordinary job in an ordinary office. And something. And that's all I can remember of that dream.
Maybe that's for the best.
Possibly. Although, I'd watch a musical of Control for sure.
The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye.
I wonder if some of that are like meta statements, like breaching the fourth wall kind of situation. Because you just said like we were in a game, and obviously it is a game. Maybe there were some references to previous builds, previous versions of the story.
Maybe I can learn more about the hiss from him.
Can we talk?
I just had an interesting dream.
Shit.
That's fascinating, but let's talk about the hiss for a change, yeah?
This dream was about the hiss.
Correct, Rose, for sure.
Best I'm gonna get.
In my dream, the hiss had broken free of this prison, this house. I'd set it free. And the president himself was there to welcome us. He was the first one to take the hiss in. Spread the word. At first, many people thought it was horrifying. That he was horrifying. But also, many people who heard his words wanted to welcome the hiss in. And slowly, more and more of them came around until the whole world was brought together by the hiss. It was wonderful.
Debatable.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
For the record, that will never happen. Not as long as I'm alive.
Jesus, there's more. Okay. That could be two, yeah. Definitely could be two. That's really one of the things that I love about this game. Like, we could theorize for literal hours with every little tidbits of information, and we'd be no closer to the truth because we don't know. It's an actual mystery. You can piece together an image that makes a certain amount of sense, but at the end of the day, the game does not spoon feed you the answers. Like, they give you a bunch of answers. Like, there's all these files with ideas and theories and facts, but they don't give you the full picture. They keep you guessing. And that, to me, is super engaging. It's like the World of Darkness, for example, just to bring it back to this topic that we really love. Like, when you read the books, there are all of these mysteries, and there are all of these people with ideas and unreliable narrators that paint a picture of secrets all throughout the World of Darkness, but everyone's going to have their different ideas of what these secrets are and what lies behind all of these secrets. It's a key part of a setting's DNA when you're trying to build something engaging. You don't have, there are other ways, you don't have to do it, but it's one of the ways that I find most enticing. When you have all of the answers, sometimes you reach a point where a setting stops being interesting. It happens. Like, for example, there's a TV show called the 4400. It was about this mysterious setup where people across time disappeared. Some of them a couple of months ago, some of them literally 100 years ago. And all of these 4,400 people, so 4,400, came back in a park at the same time. And they now have superpowers. This mystery was extremely interesting to me. And it was like this layer, like an onion, peeling off every new episode, a little more information. And by the end of season 1, that show shot itself on the foot because we knew everything. The mystery had been solved. And after that, season 2 and onwards, they didn't have that mystery to rely on anymore. The show, to me, stopped being interesting. I still watched all of it in the hopes that it would really become interesting again, but it never got anywhere close to the season 1. Like, they could have gotten away with it with really interesting characters. For example, you can survive revealing your whole mystery. It's a possibility, but I don't know. It really depends on the kind of story you're trying to build. Obviously, not every story have to be a mystery, but if you are building a setting around a mystery, make sure you end with the reveal or don't do the reveal, I guess is what I'm saying here. And this is a game that does it really well. Even by the end, when we're completely done, we still won't have all the answers. And we will still be able to keep guessing and keep throwing ideas and theories. And guess what? We'll be doing that for several more games because Alan Wake 2 is coming out this year. And we're going to play it. And we're going to pull parallels from Alan Wake 1 and from Control. And we're going to keep building our comprehension of this world together, and maybe we'll be right and maybe we'll be completely wrong, but it won't matter because we'll have fun building this idea of what the world might be together, and that's really fucking fun to me. Hiss is the temptation of losing control. Interesting, considering that's literally the title of the game.
Maybe I'm just here to punish myself.
Any new dreams you'd like to share, Dylan?
I'm glad you asked, sister. This dream, like all dreams now, felt very real. Like reality. And reality now feels like a dream. Maybe it's all a dream. Maybe it's all real.
dream where my brother endlessly tells me about his dreams.
I was in a dark place, and there was a dark man there. His name was Mr. Door, and he told me that there are many worlds, side by side, on top of each other, some inside of others. In one world, there was a writer who wrote a story about a cop. In another world, the cop was real. Door said he himself was in all of them at the same time, endlessly shifting between them. I asked him how I could reach these worlds. I wanted to bring the hiss there. But he didn't want to help me. He didn't like the idea. What did he know?
I'm not wild about the idea myself.
Oh shit. And yet another. Give us the control, we will relieve you from the burden of it. Yeah. That does sound to be part of the concept of the hiss for sure.
Here we go again. Once more with feeling.
An amazing Buffy musical, that is.
Let me guess. You want to tell me about your dream?
Yes. Yes.
Season 5, episode 9.
In fact, I'm having a dream right now.
Oh. That's new.
In this dream, I'm standing in the corner watching Jesse and Dylan talk about this very dream.
By the way, literally the viewpoint
This
we have.
very dream. He said just now. And repeated it again now. I'm standing there and watching, and that's all I can do. It's as if I'm trapped there. And that's all I have to say about that dream.
Okay, Dylan. That's good.
Oh, that was
Is he
meta
still
for
in
sure.
there? Or is this the hiss playing mind games? I don't know.
Okay, we've managed to get through all of those. Oasis' sister, he's clearly very pissed. Yeah, that lines up with the tape we listened near is Cage. At the very least, now we know the hiss that people in dreams where they take control. Yeah. Okay.
Lots of interesting data off that subject that Mike has brought in.
I heard that he voluntarily entered captivity. That's what Pope said anyway.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. Hiss aren't that self-aware.
Dude, that's literally what happened. It's in the room right there. You can find out. All right. Let's go do the clock thing. I don't know if we'll be strong enough to survive it, but we'll try. Let's give it a try. Nope, new stuff here. Ooh, that'd be cool, but we can't afford it. Recontainment, okay. Logistics, let's try that. Dylan is a player and you're playing as he unknowingly controls his clone and they are connected through Polaris. Polaris being the guiding star. An entirely possible way of seeing it. It's really hard to tell. I think it's over there. get back for that. But first, I want some healing. Damn, there's a bunch of stuff we never got, apparently. Still run out of bullets. It's not impossible to do, especially if I fight from afar. But I can walk towards them. As long as I keep shooting, they can't shoot back. Make sure no one's coming behind my back. Flanking. So many folks to kill. Really? Satisfied game? Like I killed so many people. Okay. Finally. Okay. Now, let's grab what I missed. And do the thing. Appear to be in the wrong place. Oh, okay. Guess I'm on the wrong side. Okay. There isn't another side. Or is there? Yes, there is. There we go. That's the right spot. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ocean View Motel and Casino. I wonder if, by the way, Mr. Door has something to do with the motel. Because these could easily lead to all kinds of different realities. Just saying. And this, once again, says janitor. Just saying. Does this still refer to the casino? Yes, it does. Alright. Huh. So 16 minutes before 5. Is that something we need to do? Did it stop when I pushed back, or? Yeah, okay, it stops when I escape. Okay, so I should try to put it at, what is that? 6:02. Can I still do that? No, okay. So let's try to get the next one right. So 9 hours and like 28 minutes. 9:28. Wow, that is not going to be easy. 10:28? Okay, 10:28, sorry. Yeah, you know, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, it seems to have been very generous on that because I was late on my button press, but it still gave me the timer. That's cool. Back to the first door. Okay, so you got to put this one at 1:34. Looks like 1:34. Yeah, is that 1:34? It's it may not be as clear, but on full screen here, it's 1 minute before 35. It's 1:34. Yeah. Yep. Okay. 2 of them lined up. 1 more. Okay, so it's 5:40, I want to say. Yeah, well, 39 or 40, but it's going to align itself anyway. So let's go with 5:40. Oops, wrong button. Okay, looks like we got it. Here's a key. Back to... Here we go. Like, can you imagine, like, a storyline, like, you're a ranger, you're going to do stuff, you're going through the motel like you usually do, and all of a sudden you get the wrong key. Wouldn't that be cool as a storyline? Like, you do your thing, you're trying to get back to the office or whatever, you solve your puzzle, and then you get a key, and like, the key, instead of being an upside down black pyramid, is a white pyramid. Like, crap, I'm going to another door. Like, that would be so cool. And you can't do that in any other game because that weird whack shit only exists in Control. Find the missing medic.
This Wells guy can't be far.
Interesting fact, my sister, due to being so used to digital, couldn't read analog clocks until she was a teen. Huh. Then they get lost there, go back to the hotel, get another wrong key. Yeah, we could keep giving them wrong keys. That's a thing that can be done for sure. I mean, I think a bunch of people go through that. Like, reading that isn't necessarily easy, and it's not widespread, I want to say. Wait, I have that. This. Okay, that's the melee power. Oh, okay, it was a reflection. There wasn't actually a door. Okay. In the sense that...
Those must be the clocks he was talking about.
Yes. So see, the post-it, like, it happens to other things. What was I going to say? Right, like, when I was a kid, I feel like there were more clocks with hands than nowadays. It seems like nowadays it's mostly digital. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just an impression that I got. Go, in the name of King Arthur. Or something like that. Because I have Excalibur. Thanks for your help.
That must be our guy.
Yeah, TikTok. Motherfucker, TikTok. Yeah, no, that's a pretty cool spot, seriously. One of my favorite in the game. Could be. The duplicator, yeah. Or maybe it's just because they put a clock in that one specific spot. And now, you know, it's being duplicated. But I think there are going to be notes explaining the origin of the clock, actually. So it won't be left too much in the dark. Scion wants some future. What's that one? Is that a new book? I have not been keeping up with Scion, unfortunately. Okay, so the guy we're looking for is behind us. Oh, wait, is he? No, that's a dead guy, probably. Let's try to go to him first. Yeah, dead guy. This is, wow, level 9. We don't have that. Oh, no, that's right, They do that so the clocks don't replicate. If they put the clock, yeah, they'll mention it, but they do the little, not circles, but squares around the clock because it stops them from replicating, I think. Is Science take on Arthurian? So a new book then. Yes, it's a ritual,
Wells?
correct.
Your friend asked me to come looking for you.
That must be Horowitz. Glad he got out. I stayed back to help the others. Did a shit job of it, clearly.
You tried. That's enough. Horowitz needs your help now. How do we get out of here?
We should head back through the threshold. We can look for other survivors as we go.
We better hurry. Which way?
Just follow the blood.
True enough.
Let's go.
It's one of the things I love so much about this game. Like, doing a salt circle around stuff to ward them is... Oh, you've got the key. Pretty common in a cult, and it's one of the things that they're using. It's cool, it's simple, but it works. Because they're not just using it like in a summoning ritual or something cliched like that. They're using it to prevent a frickin' clock from replicating, and it's
What's
not
with the
working.
clocks?
Threshold effect. This used to be a regular office wing before the threshold manifested. The forces at Plane there got a hold of someone's old clock and started duplicating it. Now the office is abandoned and its clock's all the way down.
So yeah, I mean, oh, I think Tara called it. There's an entity who likes duplicating shit, and it was a normal office, he said. So that office with the post-it is next. This is gonna happen there. That's pretty damn cool. Besides being awkward, what is this video about? Are we going somewhere? Oh, they did do that. Darling's in there now. Maybe it's gonna get somewhere. Okay. Whatever. So we in five-way war. The hiss versus the board versus the former versus the mold versus the duplicator. Possibly. Did not see the red screen. Sorry, I may not have been paying enough attention at the time. I mean, it's all possible. Damn, that's whoa. When did I switch weapons? And more importantly, how? Okay, that's how. Okay. He lives. Look at all those clocks. MB clocks everywhere. Feels like they tried to barricade it and it just burst through because there were way too many clocks. Okay, let's find notes and stuff first. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Okay. I bet some employee has tried duplicating money. Maybe that's how they find the place. It's possible. The problem with money is that the numbers wouldn't work. It would all have the same
you
one.
came out here for an altered item?
The anchor, yeah. Langston said it'd be a simple item retrieval. But the power that thing has, I've never seen anything like it.
That's it? That's the tweet? Okay. Made me come back just for that. Funding the place. Yeah, no, they cover that in one of the texts. Essentially, they're really being covered, not covered, but paid for, funded by the government. Essentially, the power, because they go through the whole house. The power of the oldest house also works with their finances. So as long as they don't have too big numbers that would stand out too much, the people who are handling the budget won't even notice it's in the budget, and they're just going to keep funding it. It's weird, but it's there. Grab that. Let's start by reading stuff, because I don't want that guy to die, and I feel like he will if I spare footage. Okay. If I move ahead too much, he might die. Mannequin supplement. The item was last owned by Madame Redacted, an operatic performer from Berlin. After her career ended in a public scandal, she relocated to Redacted, Maine for reasons unknown. With her came the trappings of her old life, including this item. Locals report that she rarely left her home in the short years she spent in Redacted. After her death, caused by Redacted, the state held a public auction of her belongings, seeing as she had no known relatives. Various conflicting first-hand reports exist, but testimonies provided by witnesses of the event do contain some common elements. Most every witness saw numerous mannequins break through the house's windows, tumbling outside. Some witnesses report bright lights. Some report high-pitched singing. These are unverified. Numerous civilians inside the house at the time of the incident were hospitalized for various injuries. 2 were crushed to death. Agents were dispatched upon seeing an article regarding these events during the Bureau's daily scans of national periodicals. The item was quickly identified and brought to the Bureau. Waste mannequin. Okay. Sunlight. Okay. Postbox supplement. I don't know why it got big. Okay. Agents arrived in the town of Jasper Crossing, Arizona, after the communications department intercepted multiple phone calls to local authorities regarding frozen people in the streets. 4 of the 5 dispatched agents became paralyzed upon arriving at the scene. Additional assessment teams were dispatched. Variations of identification formulas were tried with ineffectual results. Agents resorted to using aerial photography to study the positioning of the paralyzed individuals. Soon after, agents discovered the event's epicenter to be the local post office. Unaffected agents cleared the area of all paralyzed civilians, animals, and Bureau personnel before beginning to study the item. Agents deemed susceptible to the item were tasked with interviewing and re-informing the public away from the site. The item was soon placed on a transport vehicle manned by unaffected agents. Air travel had been deemed too dangerous given the object's effect. Numerous reports of temporary paralysis were reported by civilians along the truck's route from Arizona to New York City. As you recall, you get paralyzed if you touch the item, but some people, for some reason, are unaffected. That's weird, but that's how it is. Correct, you could definitely do that. Might be safer though if you're just trying to do it on precious metals or minerals or things like that. But for sure, yes. You could get away with it to a certain extent. Come in, bro. Come on, bro. Here we go. It's over here. More dead.
That's O'Neill. Shit.
Come on, show your feet. Nice. Are you the one shooting? Why are you shooting at the... Cool. Boom. Boss down. Reflection rate? Yep. Okay.
That's an altered item up there.
Altered item up there. Where?
Looks like I need to hit that shield harder.
What shield? Oh. You mean that? Probably. There we go.
Wasn't so bad.
Paper lantern, done. Awesome. However, that's not all. There's so much more to find in here. We're nowhere near done. Well, maybe we are, but you'll see.
That safe room is where the altered item cornered us. We sealed the door on the way out. We couldn't let it get out into the Bureau.
I'll need to come deal with that altered item later. If I open the safe room now, Wells could get hurt.
Okay, okay. We'll be back later then. Okay. It's a bit dark. All right.
We locked it tight. Come on, we need to get back to Harlan's.
But give me a second to explore. Okay. Take dog for sure. And I know you know, but I can't mention it. Looking forward to the TikTok, but I got this guy to save first. Okay, I seem to have gone pretty much everywhere. Except, well, no, not except. Oh, you're right. Back here. Yeah. There we go. That's where the new stuff is. Okay, did I find any new collectibles? I did. Case file. Oh, yeah. Okay, paper lantern procedure. We might be able to figure a couple of things here. This item should be kept in a locked containment cell. Any prolonged observation of the item should be avoided. The item is a paper lantern known as Chochin, I suppose. The paper is red with elegant black Japanese characters that translate to ramen. That would be so good right now. Item has an attractive effect that is both physical and psychological. Nearby objects gravitate towards the item with a minor force of redacted. More notable is its ability to attract sentient organisms with its rich red color and warm, comforting glow. So that's definitely not the thing that's been duplicated. That's been duplicating. So I still think Terra is onto something, that there is another entity in play duplicating stuff. Supplementary material, redacted interview, blah blah blah. Can you tell us why you left your building that day? Mr. whatever's his face, the previous owner, I guess. I was running out to get eggs. There was that corner store on 30th. That's why I left Michael there on his own. Knew I wouldn't be gone long. He was drawing at the table when I left. Had his crayons out. Happy. The building came down when I was a block away. I ran back. Started digging. City workers found my key later. Besides the fridge. The drawings hadn't come off. tons of bricks fall on it and those drawings are still there. How does that happen? You keep the refrigerator after the incident? Why? It still had his drawings. God must have kept them safe for a reason, right? I'd get home from work and stare at them all night. I was in a bad way back then. Why did you sell the fridge with your son's drawings still on it? They'd gotten stuck to it or something. I thought about cutting them off, those magnets, but maybe it was better I didn't hold them, you know. Gotta move on, everyone says. What's my fridge got to do with the building collapse anyhow? End of relevant portion. Interesting. Interesting. Tick-tock goes the clock, and what things shall we see? Tick-tock until the day that thou shalt marry me. Tick-tock goes the clock, and all the years they fly. Tick-tock, all too soon, you and I must die. It's probably a song, I don't know it. Tick-tock goes the clock, we laughed at fate and mourned her. Tick-tock goes the clock, even for the dock. Tick-tock goes the clock, he cradled and rocked her. Tick-tock goes the clock, even for the doctor. Interesting. Some of that applies to what's coming too. Look at all them clocks, y'all. Like, how can you not just adore this game?
When it was clear we couldn't contain the altered item, Horowitz ordered a retreat. We got out, but Hiss were waiting for us. I took Horowitz to the motel court and went back for the others.
That was brave of you.
I'm the medic. It's my job.
Let's activate this first. It sounds like we need to go over there. Now let's go back here and see what that was. You may find it weird that I go through every bathrooms, but I do that for two reasons. First of all, there are secrets in those bathrooms, like you can find chests and stuff. And second of all, I'm looking for one specific bathroom that has, well, I'm not going to say it, but there's something pretty cool in it. Before we move on, because I expect bad shit to arrive pretty soon. And we should also look to upgrade. And to destroy stuff. Everything we have that is doubled, we can get rid of. Refund. Well, lol. Shatter recoil efficiency. No, we're good. Can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. That too. Because we're about to start getting the problem where we're gonna always be just completely filled out in mods. Real soon, that's gonna be a real bummer constantly. Work chat, plane parts. Okay, Mr. Dead Dog, what do you think of this? You know that airplane we brought in? Like the actual proper airplane? Guess who they made catalog every individual piece of that plane to be examined for suspected altered status. I had to count every bolt, nut, and piece of non-connected metal. And that's just on the exterior of the damn thing. Do you know how many pieces of hardware it takes to make an airplane? I do! I do! Should duplicate toilet paper. Yeah, that would be actually pretty darn useful. Dr. Bravengood, he turned away from violence when he understood the falling of the silence. Tick-tock goes the clock. He gave her all he could give her. Tick-tock goes the clock. Now prison waits for River. Must have seen that. I'm almost up to date with Doctor Who, actually. But, you know, years and years might not help. Because River Song hasn't been in the show for
We're almost out of the
4
threshold.
years? Go forth, my minion! And now I've almost made myself sad. There's not enough games where you control minions. Like Pikmin. I know we discussed Pikmin recently on chat. Barely, but on the GeoMint network. But it's still an amazing game, and there are not enough games in that vein. Those just got much easier with the new mod. Yeah, like there was what was the Overlord? I think it was called, like a super old game back in the original Xbox days, I think, where you could control minions too. I barely touched that game. I really should have spent more time with it. It just didn't happen for some reason. But we need more games with minions. There's just not enough of those. I miss Pikmin. I wasn't a huge fan of the third one, unfortunately, but 1 and 2 did some damn good things. It's a Song of Translator. It's too far away, I don't remember. It's on season 2 of Capaldi, and I really don't think I'll ever go back, just kind of lost interest. Yeah, I finished... Like, I had that with Capaldi. I watched 1 season with him, and I just, like, I'd written off the show. I wasn't interested at all. And then earlier this year, I got back into it, and I finished Capaldi. And as usual, by the end, I really liked him. But in the case of Capaldi, I think it's different. Like, usually you hate a new Doctor until you love the new Doctor. That's just a pattern of all the Doctors. Except for Capaldi, where I think his first few seasons, he was just genuinely unlikable. But in his last season, maybe they changed writers, I don't know, he just became much more likable. And I think a lot of that had to do with his companion. He changed his companion at some point. Bill Piper, I think is her name. And they just have this good vibe. And I don't know, he turns much more interesting by that point in his last season. And I had a lot of fun watching his last season. And then we got into Whittaker Doctor that I really loved at first, actually. Like, it was the reverse for her. I really liked her originally, and I liked the fam, as they call them. They called them. She had 3 companions, and I liked them at first a lot. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that Doctor Who had episodes now where they were going a little bit more into modern day issues like racism and stuff like that. Like, they met Rosa Parks, like the black woman who the black woman in the bus. I'm sure you know the story. They met her, and they had these really good episodes where they didn't shy away from showing the ugly side of history as well. And that was super interesting. The problem with that first season was that there was no recognizable Doctor Who elements. Like, for a bit, she didn't even have a sonic screwdriver. She had to rebuild it even. It happens quickly, so it's fine. But I mean, it didn't felt super Doctor Who-ish for that season, because despite time traveling, there were no Daleks until I think the last episode. There were nothing recognizable. And from her season 2 and on, they started bringing these typical Doctor Who elements again quite a bit, and they completely stopped doing the harsher episodes, the harder, more mature, more hard side of history episodes. So they kind of lost what made this Doctor special. They should have combined the two instead of just dropping it and going back old school. And in this old school version, considering that her crew was kind of built around this dynamic, just kind of stopped working. The new episodes no longer really played to the strengths of these characters at all, and they also didn't bond too well. Like I don't even know like when the characters learned that she was a Time Lord, like in the sense that they never really spoke, or they were friends, but they didn't know about regeneration. They didn't know about all of these basics of what a Time Lord is until like really much later, because the Doctor never opened up to any of them in a different way, because most Doctors don't really open up, but it was a different way not to open up that just kind of stalled these characters. It felt like they didn't know where to go, didn't know what to do with them, and it left the Whittaker era on the shoulder of these three characters bonding by themselves, and two of them bonded rather quickly, and there was nothing else to do with them, and another group of two just kind of never really got there, and the other two barely ever talk. It's just like, eh. And then in the last season, I think I'm in her last season, they dropped two of those characters, which I feel is a good call, leaving us with just one of them. And I think it's a good idea, so that character has space to grow and become more interesting. And then they bring Dan along, which is just this random dude that has no chemistry with the rest of the cast and no reason to be there. None. I'm just like, why is Dan there? Like, how did that happen? And he's not super interesting. So I got to a point where I just like, eh. So it's probably going to do with like Capaldi, like in 3 or 4 years, I'm going to get into it again and I'm just going to like love it. And I don't know, but right now I'm just like, eh. I stopped. What I did is I started watching Watchmen instead of finishing Doctor Who, and I've had a blast. Oh my God, Watchmen is a good show, y'all. It's something else.
The motel court is on the other side of logistics. Horowitz should still be there.
Okay, let me just see. Capaldi is a really good doctor in how he acts and stuff, but he's written poorly. Agreed. From what I've seen, I really don't like the idea of the silent child, but for all we know, it could be a lie, so I will wait, but I don't know how they will recover from that idea. Oh, wait, you might not know about that. Hope I didn't spoil it too bad. I think you mean that... Could you mean the timeless child? Because if so, they've started on that. I don't know how I feel about it either. I'm not gonna go too far into it because huge spoilers there. But oh, okay, don't follow me then.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm not gonna go too much into it, as I said, because I don't want to spoil anything, but...
Hold on.
It's big,
Something's wrong with him.
Yep.
Shit.
He turned into the Hiss. That's what's wrong with him.
Horowitz. Oh, God, no. You Hiss motherfucker took him!
I'm in pain. I'm dead. Okay. Okay. He backs a punch. I was trying to make sure the other guy survived, but I shouldn't have done that. It's big, and I don't know. It feels forced a little bit. Not a fan. Why do you put me all the way back here? It's a weird choice. Yeah, definitely I was way too close. Probably time this. Once again, I haven't watched, just was curious about what is happening in the new Who stuff, and that was some of the first videos that popped up. Yeah, I think we're talking about the same thing. It's, I don't know, it feels like they're stretching it too far. My disbelief. Somehow, like, we're talking Doctor Who here, somehow my disbelief got stretched too far. That, it's fine, but, But I mean, like, Doctor Who does that often.
Let's go.
Going too far. Or it breeds some inconsistencies. Like, if you're trying to piece together the story of Gallifrey, like, good fucking luck.
Something's wrong.
Shit.
Harwood. Oh, God, no.
That is attention, so that should help the other dude stay alive. Where'd he go? Might be downstairs. He is. Jesse, you're hiding the camera. Man, he's got way too much action. Going all the way over there, buddy. Okay, time to go for a different plan. There we go. Much better. Of course, he's next to the health, but it's fine. Damn. He was a tough to kill motherfucker.
Make sure he's okay.
Where did that go? I remember this door. Okay, it's fine.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thanks. And thanks for coming to get me. Horowitz's HRA must have been damaged in the threshold. Guy never put himself first. At least the anchor altered item is still locked away down in the clocks. I hope it rots down there.
That altered item needs to be dealt with before it hurts anyone else.
Correct.
I should go back down and contain it.
Yes. Head to the executive sector, Wells. They could use a medic.
Thank you, Director. I'll go see what good I can do there.
Okay. Enemy within. Escape to safe. Okay, it's almost 10, so it sounds like this will be a good spot to end. Not this here, but we'll go do this quest. I think it should be fairly quick. I'm okay with the idea of the timeless child, just not what they are saying it is. By what do you mean who they're saying it is? As if so, we agree. That's the bit I have a problem with as well. It's too much. Okay, got a few more points. I don't really need them. Like, seriously, like, the shield does its job. I don't need it to be better. Levitate, I don't need it to be better either. This is fine. Does a job too. Don't need it, like... Yeah, we'll keep the points until there's something we really want. But here, do we have the ability to level up something? Shatter, we don't care. Mods. That's gonna... Sure. Why not? Okay. Fast travel. Okay. Panopticon. Seal threshold corridor. Entrance. No. It's one of those two. Let's try this one. Why not? I forgot if it was good, actually. So, you're confirming that it is? I might have to consider it then. Quickly run through just to find the spot. Oh yeah, no, we're not doing this. No reason to fight that guy.
This is a safe room Will showed me. The one with the altered item inside.
Okay, let's try that. This is going to be what we're gonna finish with tonight.
Great. More clocks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll read the thing, and then we'll try the thing. Seal the threshold account. Threshold with effect redacted manifest in the containment sector, in the middle of the redacted department. Simultaneously, numerous redacted appeared in the area, injuring and killing many redacted. After rescue operations were completed and redacted, rangers were sent in to discover the threshold's epicenter. The sheer amount of redacted made the expedition impossible. The area was sealed off after removing the clocks proved an impossible task. The department was relocated and the area abandoned. Researchers theorized the threshold introduced unstable matter to our dimension, which adopted the form of the redacted as redacted when introduced to more stable redacted. Russell T. Davies is retaking the reins after the next season. I liked early new Doctor, so I would be interested how he takes the Doctor that isn't depressed over him feeling he killed all his race. Correct. Looking forward to that as well. I guess we'll have to see. Like, I really think there's something to be done with Whittaker Doctor. She is interesting, for sure. It's, I don't know. They made calls, and I just feel like they weren't the right ones. But maybe a different showrunner is gonna give us something else. All I know is I'm not going there for sure. Not for soon. Like, it'll take me a while before I try Doctor Who again, which is fine. It's what I always do. I take a break for several years and then I go back and I catch up, so it's perfectly fine. Recently, I've been watching most of the Aliens and Predators and Aliens vs. Predator movie. Pretty much watched all of them. That was super fun. I got into that mood again because I was reading the Alien tabletop RPG. And that just got me into a spiral of watching these movies. And weirdly enough, right now what I'm watching, for some reason, are the Sharknadoes movie. Don't ask me why. I was just curious. All of a sudden, like, we were talking about them with friends. Someone said something, and I was like, huh, alright, cool, why not? And I mean, I'm entertained. Those are hilarious movies, but those are bad movies, like really bad movie. The thing is, it's purposefully bad. So there's an art to being this bad, right? Like, they know what they're doing enough to be able to do it in a bad way that's actually entertaining. So it's an interesting study of the cinematographic language. But those, you know, don't watch them. Like, unless you're really willing to put your brain, turn off your brain and just, like, go with the silliness, then you might have some fun with that. I finished the first 3. Probably gonna start the 4th one eventually. It's funny. I mean, I'm laughing. I enjoyed the part where watching the 3rd movie, they were like, they were introduced a bunch of new characters, and by then, you know, there were a lot of has-beens and actors from the 80s and 90s, and I was like, it's a shame they have not used David Hasselhoff yet, right? It feels like he would be a perfect fit for these movies. And in the 3rd one, they introduced the President of the United States. And I was like, what a wasted opportunity to like, he would have been perfect for that role. And like a couple of scenes later, the main character was called Finn, by the way. You can't make that shit up. And his son is called Gil. You really can't make that shit up. Someone tells him, like, okay, well, we need to talk to someone. They don't really say who he is, and he says, fine. And he calls his father, and the father picks up, and it's actually freaking David Hasselhoff. And I was like, oh yeah, I called it. Well, not that I called it. It was like, it had to be, he had to be there somewhere. And I was just like super happy to like literally see him like minutes after I said, man, they should cast him somewhere at some point. So that was funny. Yes, you're right. Absolutely, you're right, Tara. I was talking shit. You're right. This is Whittaker's last season, which is again a shame. Seriously, I thought there was so much more we could do with that Doctor. It's never congealed into something. That's really fucking sad. But yes, this is her final season. Davies is gonna come back with a whole new Doctor. We'll see. I'm just disappointed to see Whittaker leave so quickly. She was good. I liked her. Nah. I feel like there's unmet potential in that iteration of the Doctor. It's super sad. But we'll see. Maybe, you know, the next one's going to be interesting. I hope they keep her a woman. Like, since it's the first time they've actually tried a female Doctor, and I feel like it didn't quite work. But I don't think it was because of her gender. Like get that shit out of your head. That is not what I'm saying. But it'd be nice, you know, if they tried again with another female Doctor and hopefully nail it this time. Like, I would like to see that happen and be satisfying and be awesome. And I'm not blaming Whittaker. I think Whittaker is giving her all to the role, and I think she's really good at it. I'm not saying she's a problem at all. It's the seasons just have not congealed into anything super awesome. I think the cast wasn't well used in so many episodes, and the overarching plots of the seasons have not been quite Doctor Who levels of awesome and mind-bending. It's just, I wish the next Doctor is female too, and I hope that she like bats it out of the park, whoever the next one is. All right, let's try this and probably die horribly in the process. This is one of the hardest fights in the game. And I don't remember the rules. And that's a problem, because if you don't know the rules, you die.
The fuck is that?
It's making more shots.
Yeah. Okay, I remember the rules. Okay, yep. Rule is don't be in its face when it's shooting stuff and it's going into a clockwise. It's turning clockwise, essentially. But I know there's more to it than that. There's a rule I'm forgetting. That's super important to kill it easily and quickly. I just don't remember what it is. Here. Yeah. Try to shoot these guys so I can get some health. These guys despawn just to... Okay, let's grab the last clock. We're gonna be on the other side. Here. Oh yeah, you killed these dudes, so... Aha, free health. Just open up, open wide, open wide. There we go. Damn it. It's probably gonna hurt like hell, because I'm gonna be in front of it. Am I okay? Yeah, okay. Could have been a lot worse. Try this gun. Yeah, okay. This didn't do much good. Try that. Yep. Oh. Please go kill your boss. Just stand there. Go kill your boss. Please. Yeah, okay. So I forgot the last rule. And that's a problem. Because when you know the last rule, I know he's super easy to kill. And I have to research that. And this is tough. Shooting clocks. Maybe that would work. Since he was so weakened by the other clocks. I'm gonna try that. Bullets don't seem to affect him as much. Oh yeah, that works well. Nice. Because he gets faster. Be real careful. Survive. I just might survive. Oh, nope, nope, nope. That is not what I wanted to see happen. Get some health here a little bit. Back. Come on. Come on. Oh, shit. Oh, it worked. I heard it. Okay, cool. Time, buddy. Turn around and face me. Damn it. What? longer fully a bit confused, but it doesn't matter. Just gonna turn in the same sense. Same direction he does, just so I can have more time to hit these dudes. Gotta kill him quickly. Okay, do the thing, buddy. Do the thing now. Why? He skips the thing. Is he trying to avoid me and I'm supposed to catch up to him now? Is that what's happening here? Fine. Go on the other side. Gonna happen. Damn it. I knew it was on my side, but I couldn't move because there was an enemy above me, an exploder above me. It's so close though, so close. Yeah, but the anchor is it's an item of power as far as we know. I'm not sure it's an entity, but then again, could be what's making the world turn, or could be so much. We don't know yet. Okay, so the last pattern is no longer clockwise. Okay, that's what got me turned around. Because I was focusing on trying to survive and killing the dudes. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, let me just quickly see. Oh wow. Okay. Gotta go back up for a bit. I just think Davis does something with the Doctor in alternate universes with Rose. I feel like him coming back as an antagonist after Rose's death would be really great. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. I bet theory has always been that he will become the Valeyard? Not sure what that is though, but yeah. Need to write down, okay, not a clock, not only a clock, and true, blah, blah. Screw up, you missed a comment. Yeah. Just caught up with it. So, well, I got the hang for it now. I guess I can try one more time, but if I can't survive it, we're not gonna try it much more. So I'm gonna try with the small clocks, one is easy. And go with the big clocks.
What the fuck is that?
When he gets big and bad.
It's making more clocks?
So around half HP, I guess. Should be a good spot. Bitch. That's a big clock, isn't it? No, it wasn't a big clock. That's fine. I didn't waste a clock. Good. Damn, I thought he was on the next... Ah. Okay, this is bad. Can I do anything? Actually... Didn't hurt it. Probably catch up to it. There we go. I really hope he's not coming over here. No, good. I think he's here now, though, so we'll be using that big one. Come on. Boom. Switched speeds. That's why he was already here. Alright. Oh, and he's already on the new pattern. I think. So, as I was saying, this is not an easy fight, as you can clearly see, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. We will continue that next week. I don't know if we'll definitely try him again next week, but we'll keep playing the game, try other stuff next week. Tonight, I guess, was mostly about finding Dylan and doing a couple of side quests and doing the whole section with the bazillion clocks. That is still pretty damn awesome. I hope you all had a good time. I certainly did. This was really a memorable part of the game that I was looking forward to sharing with all of you. And more of that weird stuff coming up next week. Before I clock out, I'm just going to catch up with chat one last time. Okay, the Veil Yard is an old villain who was supposed to be a doctor from a future regeneration. Supposedly the one before his last. Just saying the alt universe doctor used up the 12 regeneration. Alright, okay. There's a thing that I can't say because that's going to be a spoiler there, but Yeah. It's... yeah. I guess we'll talk about it again when we're not live and can spoil to everybody else and you've caught up with the Timeless Child storyline. But yeah. Oh my god, the eyes of Jesse. Oh, I did not see the eyes of Jesse. You notice the eyes. Floaty suicidal. Yeah, there's... I feel like there are, like, too many of them, actually, in this fight. And the other floaty, the one that just throws shit or sometimes dives into you, he packs a serious punch. And it feels to me like we don't have good enough mods in terms of survivability just yet. I'm really, like, we've got like 2 and 3 level mods. That's not great. I'm looking forward to finding some actually decent health-based mods in there, but we just can't seem to find any so far, so that's a bit of a bummer. Also, I feel the grip is probably not the right gun for this fight, so I'm probably going to try something else eventually. Maybe the spin could actually be a better choice to just quickly take down the flyers. We'll have to think about it, because the grip is... its great strength is that it never runs out of bullet if I aim carefully. But we still have just like a level 1 damage boost, which is not great. We're gonna need better mods, essentially, I think, before we have we come back here. It's not bad, but it's not great. Let me, however, at least unequip this, because we're not using the shatter. Oh, wait. Yes, okay, you're now equipped. And we need a much better damage output than what we've got. And that's not amazing, but that's at least, you know, 7% more damage. Maybe if we get some actually good damage mods, then the grip will be good in this fight again, because it took way too many bullets to take down the exploding flyers for me to be comfortable. So we'll try it again eventually, but we're not there, I think. Because we take down... yeah, exactly. We take them down way too slow. Exactly. So I don't have time to heal. I don't have time to fight the construct in the middle. I need much more firepower in this. So I think that's something we will probably do later on. And actually, in this one particular fight, there's a point to be made that it might be good to get more energy, because I run out of energy trying to pick up the clocks. That's why you said, like, at one point, like, hey, you don't have a clock. I thought I had one, but I probably had run out of energy. So when I brought it up, it didn't work. So we might actually want to grab some of that down the line. And actually... a little bit longer levitation might help. Literally, like, when I played the game the first time, this fight determined my end game build. Like, this is the fight I had to finally decide, okay, where I want to put my points to survive. That's why I put so many points in levitate during this fight, so I was able to survive it. So it's a thing we're probably going to have to consider. We also got, I think, a whole bunch... yeah. Because that's a good thing. Like, it summons a bunch of critters, and the critters get killed. It kills its own critters. So we get to upgrade the grip. See, right there, all of a sudden, game changer. Because now I can put, even though it's not really great, another damage boost. So we're at 53 now instead of just 23. We just doubled our damage boost. That is going to be a game changer for next week, probably. We might try it again, because we're fairly close. We'll see. Yeah, and there were a couple of times where I brought up debris. Yes, didn't have time to talk about that because I was in the middle of the action, but I noticed it, and I decided to try, you know, just to be safe. Not safe, but sorry. It's getting late. I decided to try in case it would hurt it. It didn't, but I decided to try. And there were a bunch of times where I had to breathe instead of a clock, but sometimes it was on purpose because I was trying to shoot the flyers, and for the flyers I don't really care what I'm carrying. But I'm sure there were a couple of times when I shot the construct. Well, not the construct, the anchor, I guess I should call it. There were a couple of times where I must have tried involuntarily to throw debris at the anchor, and it didn't work. Problematic, I guess, but yeah, we'll see. Oh wait, there's more. Even the whole second from last was something the master claimed. Not the Veil Yard. Second from last was something. I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying there. Can you use shield against them? Just approach them, let them all explode. I was thinking about that. I was really thinking about that. Can you remind me, Rose, next week to try that? Because if the shield is strong enough to protect us from the exploders, or close enough, I could put more points in the shield, and that would resolve the situation. We'd have to, you know, do some of the other missions that we have in order to get more points, because we're basically out of points. We've got just 2 left, so we can't really boost the shield too much, but it could be a possibility. Last time I built up launch and levitate during this fight to succeed, and maybe this time we're gonna do shield instead. We'll see, because it's one of my goals here is to try a completely different build. So you know what? Let's give that a shot, but we're gonna have to test it first, because if it just hurts me through the shield, then there's no point. But we'll see. If you're on time, yeah. But even so, we're not gonna start with that. So we're gonna try other quests. Probably gonna try to find some of these. I'll do some quick research on the internet in between, just to see in which sections they are, unless it says. Does it say? Let's try, just so I don't spend, you know, an hour of everyone's times. Oh, yeah, it does say. So there's one in containment in the medical wing. There's apparently one in the panopticon somewhere, and another one in executive in the dead letters. Okay, so we can try to do those next week. Those are worth a bunch of points. Okay, we'll do that next week. Perfect. It even says it's right there. Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, we're gonna start with that. We're gonna do a bunch of those items, get some points in, come back here and see what we can do, and in the process, hopefully, we'll get some mods that we can use. Hopefully. So on that, that's enough from me tonight. I hope you all have a great time in between. See you all in a week for more Control. Enjoy, and good night.